May I ask why Gangnam Style is playing? Okay then, I guess we have Gangnam Style. My name is Jackson Grown, and you never really know how much you can relate to someone until you have a face-to-face conversation with them. One of these cases was my grandpa. Until I wrote this, I knew he was a farmer, and that doesn't seem all that interesting to me. But once we started talking, I realized we had a lot more in common than I thought we did. Merlin Grown was born on June 19, 1950 to Rix and Martha Grown. He was born in his house. Humorously, only his mother was there since the rest of his family was at the yearly church picnic. His other siblings in order of birth included Gary, Carolyn, Aline, and for his parents, his father owned a farm, while his mother worked at a schoolhouse. Once he got older, Merlin had to help with livestock on the farm. His life was largely centered around his family that was near George Little Rock, Iowa. In his free time, he enjoyed playing card games and baseball. Certain days he enjoyed were when the 4th of July parade came to town, and also the church picnic that was mentioned earlier. Something he found a lot less fun, however, was school. When Merlin was 5, he started going to a schoolhouse in the middle of Lyon County. He did not like it. In fact, when he was young, he tried to walk away. He tried to walk back to his house because he really did not want to go to school. As he got older, it didn't get any better. He went to middle school and high school in George, and once again, he didn't like it. One time he hated was when a PE class teacher did a wrestling unit, in which case he had to wrestle a bunch of older guys. When he got whooped, as he called it, the teacher just laughed it off. Another time he hated was math. He had a math teacher yell at him because he asked any question, creating a small little hatred. If you know anything about his son and my father, you can see the irony. This is where I started to see the similarities between me and him, since this is problems that I just feel like I've struggled with through my middle school experience as well. And the similarities didn't stop either. Because one of the things he said that he liked was singing. He was in his glee club and mixed chorus, which he enjoyed. As someone who also really likes singing, I found this really interesting, since he also saw the similarity in me as well. As he graduated, something that was very important during the time was the draft, which would be great. There it is. And something that was very important to him during that time was the draft. He assumed that he wouldn't be able to sit down because every guy of age thought they were going to be in the draft. Just a reminder that this was around the time of Nixon and when gas was 50 cents a gallon. Luckily, Merlin's birthday was very early in the year, which is how people got drafted, meaning that he was close to the bottom of the list. Looking for something to do, he started working at Sadunga Industries, and his job involved lots of manufacturing products. Something he remembered about his job was the workers had a lot of foul language. His dream job, however, was working on the airport control tower. 3 years later, he started farming on the family farm he got from his father. During this time, his mother sadly got cancer and had to go to the hospital. Little did he know that this would lead to a different important person in his life. His mom was talking to a nurse, and he asked if the nurse can go on a date with Merlin. The nurse declined, but she did have a friend who was also looking for a boyfriend. Later, Merlin and the nurse's friend started dating. Eventually, they married and went to a honeymoon in the Black Hills. Their first house was a rental home that they lived in for a while. Later in life, he would then retire and move to Rock Rapids, where he currently lives. One of the important things he learned about marriage was that it's important to compromise. Later, he became the father of 4 kids, one of which being my father. He tried to teach his kids good work ethic and to be good students. And he must have done a good job, and it's also something that he sees in his grandchildren. A trip he remembered was taking his kids to the Black Hills. The traditions he hopes to live on is when the family gets all together for the holidays. Also, later in the years, he picked up a hobby of woodworking. Merlin has been a Christian from birth, and he said influence to be more generous. One of his greatest accomplishments was his family. He said the worst day of his life was not too long ago when he fell and broke a lot of his bones. In conclusion, if there was one thing he wanted to change about his life, it would be to be more patient. What I learned from making this paper is that my grandpa is a lot like me in ways I could have never imagined. I first decided to do this to him almost as a thank you for the times he's been there for me. By the end of the interview, I learned that he did even more than that to shape who I am today.